make sure that you are educating yourself. Take the time to do your research, see what's out there. If it's too good to be true, it is. And just do your research. We can get very emotional and excited when it comes to products. So just make sure that you know what you're using this product for.
What our customers, what our viewers would really like to know is your tips. So if someone were to go out and buy, let's say, a new leisure craft, what are your tips? How would you guide this person through the current scenario?
Yeah, for sure. So number one, if you're going through a dealership, keep in mind a lot of advertising out there is created in a way where and again, unfortunately, this is why dealerships are going to turn into blockbusters gradually. It's part of the reason. They create this bait and switch mentality where perhaps the product is not actually available. And it's kind of like going fishing with a lure and then having you show up to the dealership or contact them to try to switch you to a different product. And that's, in our opinion, not transparent. So be wary of that. But secondly, be the bigger person, come from a higher place. Just know that it is hard to work in the dealership industry. So let's give people a chance and be open to the opportunity to work with others, because I believe that that's important, especially when you're going shopping. It's going to make your life easier once you connect with somebody in that industry. And also just request transparency from the beginning, going in and having that stance that, hey, you know what? I know that this product might not be available, but this is what I'm after. So instead of getting upset or frustrated, knowing that perhaps the local Yamaha dealership, you want a certain type of product, and maybe that person can help make sure that by you educating yourself, you getting, a good deal on it, and maybe doing a factory order, a special order on something like that, and just educating yourself. And things like I explained, like once you get to finance, make sure you negotiate that interest rate. Most banks, you'll have the opportunity that if you're approved at 7%, you can get 3 or 4%, depending on the product, of course, but always fight for the lowest interest rate, no matter what. Now, on top of that, don't be afraid to go private. Once you're going private, make sure that you get a professional eyes on the machine. So most heavy duty most mechanics can look at almost any leisure product. Most people know a friend, or perhaps there's someone local who'd be willing to travel to go look at the product with you. And that extra $100, $150 or $200, or you get it to a local mechanic shop to get a checkout on it. If there's not much of that product around, don't be afraid to buy it, and don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money on stuff, because everything in this industry we always say is fixable. So, you can always replace a part, and it's amazing the genius of human beings to be able to build these machines, but to be able to replace parts. And so don't be afraid of stuff like that. Yeah, on boats and RVs, make sure, of course, you always get an inspection. Boats get a survey. It's worth the investment. Once you get almost to that finish line, just make sure you're secure. We can get very emotional right now of how fast things are moving, but the last thing you want to do is to buy an RV and know that, just like a house, there's maybe some water or mold damage, and before you know it, that's $5,000 or $6,000 worth of damage and underneath there. So if you can get your own funds in place, definitely just make sure you get that product certified. Or if you go through a company like us, we'll make sure that that product is certified as well. I think most importantly, make sure that you are educating yourself. Take the time to do your research, see what's out there. If it's too good to be true, it is. And just do your research. We can get very emotional and excited when it comes to products. So just make sure that you know what you're using this product for, whether it's a car or a motorcycle or a dirt bike or a quad. And for a boat, there's amazing courses online to get your boat license, and it's very educational. Or for an ATV or a motorcycle, again, invest into yourself. I think that's the most important lesson. Invest into yourself, whether it's courses, whether it's knowledge and education about the product, whether it's a 3-day bike course, whether it's a boat course, something like that. I think that's extremely important. A lot of times you'll see someone get excited and then realize it's the wrong product, or maybe not know how to use the product. So I think knowledge is power. I think that's extremely important. And then also, depending on your credit situation, is it a need or is it a want? Can you balance the two? That's important. And just remembering that, can I make these bill payments 6 months from now? So yes, I'm excited to have a quad right now. I can't use it in the winter. Am I going to make sure I'm still making those payments? Because I picture Mount Everest, and once you go get yourself a credit card, or you have an excellent credit rating, and you're climbing, and you're paying all your bills on time. But if you make one payment that's late, even, and it goes 30 days late, it's like falling halfway down the mountain. And so that's extremely important. So I think just slow down, balance your needs and wants, educate yourself, always get an inspection, and remember just to keep it a fun experience. It should be a fun experience. And I think having a balanced life is important. So yes, like get your toys, have fun, have an RV, have a quad, as long as you can afford it. We all work very hard and it's amazing to be able to have these products. So I think that's the best kind of advice that I can give. And if anyone can help, it's us, Sparta Finance. We'd love to help you.